Good evening, fellow comic book fans. Another week at the comic shop, and it was a nice $23 week this week. I had a couple of $40-something weeks in December. I can do without those. They're straining the old budget. Almost got rid of this cold, too. Feeling better. Almost have my voice back, but not quite. Still a little congested, but decongesting. But we'll start off here with Deadly Class number 10. An excellent book, one of my favorites of the year. All sorts of crazy crime stuff about teenagers, high schoolers in training to be criminals, but really they're just being criminals. I mean, there's not much training going on. They're just kind of like in a high school for criminals, and they've got their own drama going on. But excellent book. I've enjoyed this one thoroughly. Next, we have Trees number 8. I think this might be the last issue of Trees. If not, it's coming to an end soon, I had read. I'm not sure what it... A lot of times Image doesn't tell you how many issues these things are going to last, even if they're minis. But I think this one's ending soon. We'll see. I've enjoyed this series. Sort of I guess, an alien invasion, but not really of aliens, just of these strange, weird trees that have affected humanity. Let's see if we can. I don't know what's going on in this issue. Mostly character stuff. I've thoroughly enjoyed this one too. Warren Ellis, Jason Howard. Nice book. And here is Harbinger Faith number 0. This one came out a couple weeks ago, but I finally got it. She's one of the characters from the Harbinger series. She's the one who can fly. And I've enjoyed the Harbinger series. It's canceled now. I don't even know who's doing the art in this. It looks pretty nice. Let's see who's this. Joshua Dysart, Robert Gill, Jose Villarrubia. I generally have liked Joshua Dysart's writing on this whole series. It's been drawn, I think, by various people. I don't even remember. A lot of these Valiant books tend to have sort of, solid art, but nothing spectacular, but good. So I don't always remember the artists' names. I'm not Robert. Hey, I think Robert Gill has done more stuff for Harbinger. I really should learn more names these days. It's like I can name all the artists from back when I was 12, but not so much these days. But this should just be another little one-shot story. They've been doing these Zero stories for Valiant for a while now. Just a little done-in-one story. Probably not too spectacular, but I enjoy the series. Here's Usagi Yojimbo Senso, 6 of 6. Probably another wraparound cover. Let's see. These covers have been excellent. Oh, there we go. There's a giant robot Usagi this issue. This 6-issue series has taken place slightly out of continuity in the future of normal Usagi Yojimbo. Like 20 years in the future. And it's a War of the Worlds riff. These giant tripod things have landed on ancient feudal Japan, and they're battling them. And one of the Japanese scientists at the end of last issue made this giant robot. So I'm assuming Usagi's going to be piloting it and fighting the last of the giant tripods, or trees as they call them in feudal Japan. Usagi Yojimbo's been a favorite for decades now, and give this series a read. And even if you've never read Usagi before, this will be coming out in trade soon enough. Whoops. Pick up the trade of this one. Track down the issues. Excellent series. Here is Tech Jacket number 7. Kid with a Iron Man type armor, only it's alien. Enjoyable. Aliens from outer space are coming to attack Earth. See what the heck else is going on. There's a billionaire who wants the secrets to his armor. There's nothing earth-shattering about Tech Jacket, nothing groundbreaking, but it's a solid book. Who's doing this? Joe Keating, Kari Randolph, and Emilio Lopez. what is it, the world's second best superhero series. It's a solid superhero series. I've enjoyed all 7 issues so far. I think there was a mini series. This is one of the Kirkman versus Skybounds things. I think there was another series before this that I never read, but this one's been good. Here we go. Jason Aaron, Ron Garney, Men of Wrath number 4. This is 4 of 4. Dying hitman has to kill his son. Lots of anger, lots of dysfunction. Crime book. Can't get more of a dysfunctional family than this. It's about, the father doing one last job as a hitman, and it's to kill his son because a contract's been put out on him and someone else is going to kill him anyway. It's, nutty, gritty, violent crime book. The Men of Wrath refers to their last name as Wrath, and there's a long family history of the men in this family going bad, turning to crime, becoming killers, dying bad deaths, that sort of thing. So it's a family story, but not a good one. Anyway, it's been a fun 4-issue series. I'm sure it'll wrap up just fine. And the last book of the week is Brubaker and Phillips, The Fade Out, number 4. If you're not buying this series, what's wrong with you? Old Hollywood, post-war, murder happens, noir happens, writer in Hollywood has his starlet who he had a crush on murdered. Now he's got to figure out how the heck he's involved, and all sorts of crime noir stuff going on. I enjoy all of Brubaker and Phillips' work. They make an excellent team. They put out tons and tons of good comics over the years, and this is yet another one of them. I'm going to give you a few quick reviews of collected editions that I've read, since I finally read a few that have been sitting around, and stuff I got for Christmas. First is Glory by Joe Keating and Ross Campbell. Joe Keating is I've just read his name on Tech Jacket. He's the writer of that. This is, Glory was original. I think it was a Rob Liefeld Image comic in the 90s. And it's sort of that again, except it's got a veneer of weirdness to it, is all I can call it. Glory, the art is, I enjoyed it. The art has got this strange, organic, shaped, ugly quality to it. The heroine looks not quite like your normal, there she is right there. She's generally super muscled, there she is. And these are the 3 main characters. The little girl who's searching for Glory, and her used to be Billy Batson-esque alter ego. But it's a pretty good. What's interesting? It's interesting because I realized in reading through it that, like I said, the original Glory was a Rob Liefeld Image comic with kind of one of those 90 image premises where she was this. She was a child who's half demon, half angel. Not quite demon and angels, but what humans call demon and angels. Who was there to kind of as the king of the demons and the queen of the angels married and had a kid to keep the peace between the 2 alien races, and Glory was supposed to be the one who kept the peace kind of thing. And it's sort of still the same story, but with a lot more weirdness on it. It's like you can see like the sort of typical Image comic superhero-ness underneath it. But on top of it is this, weird story of Glory wanting to hide out from her responsibilities, and this girl trying to find her, and all these other odd characters popping up. And there's still, angels and demons fighting and stuff like that going on. In the end, it turns out to be about angels and demons and fighting and stuff, but just weirder than that. So, if you're looking for a story about superhero story about mainly, most of the cast was female in this one. So, T-Bird, if you're paying attention, this is probably one you'd want to read, because, and it's also not your typical women, because they're all shapes and sizes, including Glory, who's especially big. But very enjoyable book. Doesn't stray too far from the normal superhero genre tropes, but it's still weird. And then comes Winter World, the first 4 issues of the new series. Once again, straightforward. It's about what I expected it to be. Some nice Jackson Guice artwork. Post-apocalyptic world where everything is turned to ice. There's a man and woman who are the lead characters who are just trying to survive in this world. They go from place to place and get into little adventures, run into bad guys. Straightforward adventure book. Nothing too complicated, nothing too simple, just getting into one jam, getting out of the jam, getting into another jam, seeing what this crazy winter world has to offer. If you're looking for something well done and straightforward adventure-wise, this is what you should read. And then we have Serenity, Leaves on the Wind. Once again, it's about what I expected. This takes place 6 months, I think 6 months after the movie left off, and it does a nice job of picking up after the movie. If you're a fan of Serenity and Firefly, it's a nice read, but if you're not a fan of Serenity and Firefly, there's almost no reason to read it. So the artwork is decent. It's George Genti, is that his name? The guy who did George's, or is that Jorge? I don't even know. Genti and Zach Whedon. They did a nice job on the artwork. Storytelling was good. A lot of the old Firefly characters show up. Like I said, a very enjoyable book. Like most licensed books, if you're not a fan of the license, there's no reason to read it. But if you are a fan of the license, go ahead and pick up Serenity, Leaves on the Wind. And last but not least, Goddamn This War, by Jacques Tardy, right? And Jean-Pierre Verny. Jacques Tardy is the famous French cartoonist. He did another, it was The War of the Trenches. That was his other volume of World War I stuff. And it's just, it takes you through World War I. It's mostly done in text and pictures. There's no word balloons, thought balloons. So it's narrating the horrors of World War I and going, on both sides and going through some of the events. I'm a big fan of nonfiction. I'm a big fan of history, so I enjoyed this one thoroughly. But if you're looking for, fun escapism, World War I is not fun escapism. And, oh look, there's one balloon. It's a question mark. But, like I said, I enjoyed this thoroughly. Anybody who likes history, nonfiction, and comics should enjoy this thoroughly. And also pick up It Was the War of the Trenches. Matter of fact, I think I just saw Goddamn This War, and it was in the War of the Trenches, in a box set on Amazon. So, if you're interested, pick up that box set. All right, you guys, have a good week. That's it, and have fun reading comics.